I call the honourable member for Wakefield.
Well, thank you, Deputy Speaker. In World War II, they used to have these old posters, "Loose lips sink ships." Loose lips sink ships. And we've got a defence minister with the loosest lips in the history of federation. The loosest lips in the history of federation. Unfortunately, this is all part of the form of the Liberal Party, who have been undermining the Collins-class submarine, one of the best diesel-electric submarines in the world. They've been undermining it since the 1990s. In the 1990s, they went after the now US Ambassador of the United States, Kim Beazley, totally a partisan attack, went after the Collins-class submarine to undermine the then opposition leader. And now, they're after the Collins-class again. They're after the ASC again. They're after workers again. They've got form on this. They've got form on this. This is no mere rhetorical flourish, as it was described by the Defence Minister this morning on 891 ABC. This minister is a blackguard. He's a blackguard, and he's out to get workers. He's out to get the Collins-class submarine. He's out to get the ASC. He's out to get South Australia. That's what he's out to do. Loose lips sink ships. The minister is sinking fast. He's sinking fast because he tried to attack national institutions. National institutions. He tried to attack workers. He was a bit too smart, a bit too full-on, a bit too hot-headed in the Senate yesterday. And what do we see? All of this damage. And what do you lot do? There's not one South Australian in the room. We have to roll out these Tasmanians to defend the minister. And even they don't mention the minister's name. They don't even mention the minister's name. I was so surprised. Well, I tell you what the South Australians think. The leader of the opposition in South Australia, Mr Marshall, says his position is untenable and he should resign. Untenable and he should resign. Mr Briggs says he's wrong. The member for Mayo says he's wrong. The Senator Birmingham says there's no excuses for this behaviour. No excuses for the language. Southcott says Johnston's comments were deeply regrettable, unhelpful and wrong. Even Senator Edwards, right? You know, Senator Edwards, he sticks with the Liberal Party through thick and thin, let me tell you. I've been on the receiving end of some of his campaigning. Even he says there should be an open tender. Even he says there should be an open tender, and he has full support of the workers down at the ASC. Even he says that. And we can really tell from the unknown comments in the Australian. This is what the unknown liberals say about it, that it's bizarre, that it's breathtaking, that it's stupid. That's what they say about this minister. Bizarre, breathtaking, stupid. Now, we know there are some good Liberals around the place. I beat one in 2007. His name's David Fawcett. He's the bloke who should be Defence Minister. He knows more about defence than all of you. And it's a great pity he's not in the chamber today. Well, not so much of a pity. Not so much of a pity. I'm glad he's in the Senate. But he should be Defence Minister because he's called for an open tender because he knows how damaging this minister is. He now knows how important this submarine's decision is. And he knows how good the Collins-class is. He knows how good the Collins-class submarine is. But it's not just all of us in this debate, Deputy Speaker. It's not just all of us. It's Hugh White from the ANU, who says that the minister couldn't actually articulate the reasons for why we're in Iraq. That's what Hugh White says. And Jim Molan goes on the Bolt report and praises everybody but the minister. And when Andrew Bolt says, well, you seem to be pointing to the minister, David Johnston, he says, well, I don't really want to, go into that. I'll say what I need to say privately. That's what's going on. Well, we know. That's what he said. We know what he said. We know this minister's absent from the National Security Council. He's cutting pay. And we know he's a loose-lipped minister. He's a foolish minister. He's a hot-headed minister. And the Prime Minister has to choose between this foolish idiot as a Defence Minister or workers, or the national interest, or our submariners, or the ASC, shipbuilding workers, the national institution. He has to choose between an incompetent minister and the national interest.
Absolutely.
That's the choice here. And none of you have done a particularly good job at defending Minister Johnston because you all know, loose lips sink ships, Johnston's got to go.